couple of weeks ago, I spoke on a video about how I used to punish myself if I didn't get things absolutely perfect. I was speaking to a friend of mine about this video. This person's a psychologist, a hypnotist, someone that I really respect their opinion. They laid out a couple of rhetorical questions, and it got me thinking about the bigger picture. First of all, I can't even know what was going through my head that would make me want to punish myself because I didn't get things perfect. The best I can guess is that I wanted to somehow not ever forget and repeat the same mistake. That seems to make most sense. But realistically, that's a pretty foolish strategy. When I think back on it, like, what was I thinking? How could I possibly gain from really punishing myself because I didn't get every little detail absolutely perfect? And I think that it's important to strive for excellence. I think that's always a good thing. But when it gets to the point where your expectations, the bar is set so high that it's not really humanly possible that we're going to reach it each and every single time. The conversation we had did get into that. What else can one do in order to strive for a level of excellence without resorting to harsh or even abusive ways of being? That's a deeper question that I'll have to give further thought to. I guess there's just a balance between doing what you need to do to try to get to your best level, and at the same time not overdo it and get to the point where you're actually mean and unkind. I don't think that that's helpful at all now. When I think back on it, I just don't really see the logic in doing that. The other thing that is interesting is, I'm giving these videos, I'm sharing on these videos some of my thought processes, some of the things that I've learned from people who've trained me along the way that I have found useful. And I'm sharing them not with the idea that someone's going to hear what I have to say and all of a sudden change their behavior because I suggested it might be a good idea. I don't really think that's going to happen. I know if someone gave me, whether it was really wise, sage counsel or not, I probably would reject it and not accept it, certainly not on first look. And when I was younger, possibly not at all, because I think there's an aspect of human nature, human personality, that when somebody gives you advice, it's usually not accepted. Usually, the immediate thing most people will do is reject it and say to themselves, oh, I already thought of that, and that won't work because, and then they'll give their reasons why they decided that it's just not going to work. And so, I don't have expectations that just because I say something on these videos, someone's all of a sudden going to turn around and see things completely different. But I think what it does is it opens the door to different possibilities than they may have been thinking. Because I think that a lot of times we get caught in our own thoughts. We get lost in our own thought loops about things. And so we tend to just continue to think the same thoughts, and things that might support the underlying belief that's behind that thought will accept readily, and things that refute it or don't necessarily align with what we're thinking or believing, and those things we tend to reject right off the top. We just don't accept them, and I think it's just an initial reflexive thing that a lot of people do, that I have done oftentimes in the past. So, like I say, I'm not sharing these things expecting someone is all of a sudden going to, oh, I see the light and I'm going to just completely change the way I'm doing things. And that's okay. But if it does crack the door open a little bit and allow them to maybe consider a possibility that they might not have considered before. That's enough. It's a good first start. I'll talk about this some more as we go forward, this whole topic of forgiving oneself, because forgiveness is such a powerful energy. And it's really difficult to forgive other people for their shortcomings and their mistakes. And it's especially difficult sometimes to do that for ourselves. Tom O'Ryan, equestrianhypnocoach.com. Follow me for more.